Hey everybody, I'm Zael Mednick and welcome to another episode of Preconceived. If you're enjoying this podcast, please rate and review us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That is the best way you can support this podcast if you are enjoying it. The Art of War may be one of the most cited books that almost no one actually reads. It's quoted to justify ruthless competition, political hardball, and zero-sum thinking, often by people who seem convinced Sun Tzu would be on their side. But is that framing an accurate reflection of the true message of The Art of War? Is The Art of War a celebration of domination, or actually warning against conflict? On Preconceived, we examine ideas that feel obvious until you look at them closely. So today I want to ask a simple question. Why has a text so often associated with ruthlessness actually endured as a guide for minimizing harm, exercising restraint, and maximizing wisdom? And are we missing it to justify the very instincts it was meant to restrain? And are we misusing it to justify the very instincts it was meant to restrain? I'm joined today by Mark McNeely. Mark teaches in the areas of marketing and organizational behavior in the MBA and undergraduate business programs. Mark is a professor of the practice of marketing at UNC. He served as a global marketing executive and has several years of experience with both IBM and Lenovo in the IT industry. His business background includes branding, strategy, marketing, market intelligence, management, manufacturing, and personnel. He is the author of a popular strategy book based on Sun Tzu's Art of War titled Sun Tzu and the Art of Business: Six Strategic Principles for Managers, as well as George Washington and the Art of Business: Leadership Principles of America's First Commander-in-Chief, both from Oxford University Press. He's presented his views on strategy and marketing to corporations, business people in the US, Europe, and Asia, as well as the US Air Force Command and Staff College. He's discussed his ideas on strategy on the BBC, C-SPAN, CNBC's Power Lunch, and other TV and radio programs. He appeared on a History Channel special on Sun Tzu's Art of War. He's been an expert blogger for Fast Company. He also has presented widely on generative AI and its impact on individuals, businesses, and society. And we'll get into kind of what that means, really, that indirect approach.
Sure.
It's the first time I heard of it was actually, I'm a huge, as some people know on this show who've been listening for a while, I'm a huge fan of the show Survivor. I worked on it for a few years. And in season 15, they went to China. And they gave everybody a text, and they made a point of showcasing this in the first episode, that everybody was given a text of Sun Tzu's The Art of War as a guide for kind of manipulation and as some inspiration for how they could come out on top. I personally have not read it. I one day wanted to feel smart, so I got it on my Kindle and I read about a couple chapters of it, and I don't know why I didn't finish it, but
It's not easy to read because it's a series of quotes in 13 chapters, all tied to ancient Chinese warfare. And so if you're trying to read it from a business standpoint or just a strategy standpoint or a survivor standpoint, it's like, well, how do I apply this, right? So what I tried to do with my books is take those quotes and really put them into a set of principles that actually are able to be easily and simply understood by people.
So who was Sun Tzu? Give me a little bit of the historical context for who he was, when this book was written, and really to whom this book was directed when he was writing it, or even if it was even a book at the time, or if it was just kind of these quotes put together.
Yeah, this was the best scholarly consensus on the Art of War. Was it came during a period called the Spring and Autumn period, and then maybe into the Warring States period. This is around 500, 400 BCE. And the Spring and Autumn period was when the Zhou Empire was breaking up. Different states vied for supremacy all over China. Then the Warring States period was when all these states had gotten bigger and were really fighting to control China. And at this time, a lot of generals would go from state to state selling their services to kings, and sort of like consultants, right? And Sun Tzu was one of these generals. He served the state of Wu primarily. And so he was a real person, but then there's kind of gets legends attached to him. And I think what he was trying to do with the book was to offer some really practical advice on how to win wars efficiently, decisively, and with minimal cost in this time of a bunch of warring states. while also not destroying the state, right? he's not really interested in philosophical abstractions. This isn't a moral treatise like Confucius or something like Sun Tzu, right? This is really about how do you win in competitive situations. Specifically, this is in warfare, but it really applies to any competitive situations. It's designed for leaders who are playing for high stakes, right? Which is why it's great for military and business leaders and sports leaders, all those things.